Like, and, you know, they were talking about, I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but they literally just put out an article saying that Beyonce has officially surpassed Michael Jackson. How do you feel about that?
Like, in what way, though?
Like in ways of like performing, in ways of, you know, in music, like in general, like people believe that Beyonce has surpassed Michael Jackson. Do you think that there could ever be a time that Beyonce could surpass him?
I mean,
I always love when you pause.
I know, no, because
you really be thinking, and
I really be thinking. No, I do be thinking. I don't know. So, like, I'm not going to say that it's impossible for her or for anybody to surpass. I want. I don't know. It's just a deeper conversation because
Mhm.
also some people, they talk about, like, when they talk about Mike, they're like, nobody can be like as great as him, and then they give reference to like how he could just stand on stage and people would faint.
Yeah.
But for me,
I mean, they did
that's
have
more
ambulance,
about
you know,
like stardom,
him as
not
Michael Jackson.
necessarily like performance,
Mhm.
not taking away from the
No, we know Mike is down. We know with the
not
vocals
to-
too. Because you sent me videos of the music being stripped away, and it's just him just singing. You were like, "Why is he singing down like
No,
this?"
Mike would really be
No,
singing.
Mike really be singing. Especially
Mics
like
are really on.
no,
Like,
no, his
he's
mic really be on. Especially when he
he's
said,
really-
"Job gone, job gone."
Now, Mike and Beyonce are the only two people that I've personally seen fire people while on stage.
Oh, Beyonce too.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah, you said Beyonce.
Because
I'm
when
sorry.
she fired her light guy,
Yo, she did.
that was
She
hilarious.
said, "Lights." Somebody's getting fired.
Like, that was hilarious. To
No,
me.
that really was. Yeah.
I think that she could.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think that she has,
Mhm.
but I think that she has the potential to, because
Yeah.
she's still growing and developing.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly do believe that Mike will always be the greatest performer of all time. I don't think that there is going to be anybody that's really going to come close to him. I mean, there are people that may come close, but I don't think there are going to be people that's going to actually surpass him.
I can stand behind that.
And his name, like his name is just like, and obviously Beyonce's name is very big. Is that everybody knows Beyonce, but you know, like, I don't know. It's just something about Michael that just lets me know that like he is just that standard.
Yeah.
He is the standard, and there, I mean, we could obviously surpass the standard because, you know, I think that some people surpass, you know, like I think that, Lord, I'm not gonna get in trouble. Let me stop. But but let's talk about since we're talking about Beyonce. How did you feel about her winning really big at the Grammys this year, winning Album of the Year, Best Country Album of the Year? How did you feel about that?
Before I answer that, I have a question.
Okay.
Because you know all of these things and I don't. What are the Grammys based on?
The Grammys is based off of 3,000 people voting off of just creativity, art. Like, it's not like a popularity type of thing.
So it's not like based on like sales and stuff like that.
It is not based on sales. It's not based on sales. It is only supposed to be based off the creativity of the artist and the art that they present.
Okay, then that said, I do think that she was deserving for Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, because I do feel like Cowboy Carter just kind of...
It was really good.
It was really good, but it also just kind of like took off. Yeah, it took off. With the help of like social media and everything. I feel like it took off more than Renaissance did. I do.
That's big, because Renaissance really kind of took over when it first came out.
I know, but yeah. I do feel like Cowboy Carter like surpassed that.
Yeah. To be honest, and I know I'm probably going to be excuse me, I can hear the buzzing coming around because the last video everybody tore me apart when I said about Beyonce.
They did.
But to me, Renaissance wasn't an album of the year. Was it fantastic? Yes. It was very, very good. But when Cowboy Carter came into the picture, I was just like, now this is album of the year.
And you know what's crazy, because you know I hated Cowboy Carter when it first
When it first
dropped.
came out, you really did not like
I
Cowboy Carter.
did
You were just
not
like, I
like it.
can't get into it. I was
I
like,
couldn't.
the first song pulled me in.
I
That
couldn't.
Requiem, I said,
I
okay, you
couldn't
gotta
do it.
chill.
I couldn't do it. But as I like listened to it more, I was just like, you know what?
Because I shout to Yaya every day.
No, Yaya really is my favorite song.
Do you think the country people were robbed of the album? Do you think they were? Because everybody's just saying like she's not a country artist. She shouldn't be even nominated in that category, because a lot of people believe that it was more of a pop album than being country.
I don't know. Robbed is like strong.
Okay.
But also I think I can kind of stand behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's one thing to kind of step outside of your normal genre and do something different, but I also feel like, I don't know. I feel I'm kind of in the middle, because on one hand I feel like she ain't never dropped a country album, and now she decided to do a country album, and now is country album, of the year, like best country album.
Yeah.
Like I can understand why those country artists that have been doing it could feel robbed, but the flip side to that is, but it was a country album.
Yes.
And we're talking about country albums. So regardless of what her regular genre is, it was a country album.
It really was a country album.
So it deserved to be,
and also it was more than 50%
in that category. So
yeah. And also, I'll probably get flack for this. We're just gonna flack it up for this one. Because even when Tori Kelly, remember when Tori Kelly put out a gospel album?
And that was great.
It was a fantastic album,
Cover
because
to cover.
I still play it till this day. I'm like, Lord. She put out a gospel album, and she won in the two pretty much black categories of like the gospel
contemporary
thing.
And
it was best gospel album, and then she won for, I think, best like performance with Kirk Franklin of Never Alone. So I know that at that time some gospel artists were pissed, because they were just like, I'm a real gospel artist and she's a pop artist, and she comes to do one little gospel album and she wins over the people that have been doing it for a while.
And I could understand it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the argument for that is, but she did.
But it's a gospel album. So like, what do we kind of talk about? I mean, that's just like, if I always tell people, like, if you step as an artist, I will want you to really step outside of that one genre that you're in. And I know a lot of gospel artists, they were just like they were mad that Marvin Sapp dropped an R&B album. And it's called If I Was an R&B Artist, This What It Would Sound Like. But a lot of people just like, in an uproar. And I'm just not at the album day, but but a lot of people are in an uproar about it. But I'm just like,
why though?
I would want an artist to step outside of their comfort zone.
You know who I want to do R&B?
Who?
Yolanda. Yolanda can drop an R&B album.
Y'all better be excited on so many levels that Yolanda went gospel. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because she would have had the R&B girl.
Yeah.
Listen, she would have been on a few necks.
Yeah,
literally, because they just better be happy, because she has nothing to play with.
R&B.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And
yeah.
I would definitely.
I would definitely. She could drop a jazz album, and I'll be totally fine with it. Like her voice live is just ridiculous.
It really is.
Now talking about live vocals, you know that they're coming at Tamar these days, Tamar Braxton, and I love a Braxton.
You know that's my girl.
You know we love Tay Tay. You know we love Tamar, but a lot of people are saying that like the vocals just are not vocaling that much anymore, and they're showing like clips of her on tour. I know she's like with October London, or I don't know if that's yet or not, but like she's doing some shows, and her main song is Love and War. And she's just not like hitting the notes. And a lot of people are just like, is she sick, or like what's really happening, things like that. So how do you feel about, the vocals that people are saying are not vocaling?
So I only saw the clip that like you had sent me, right? Mm-hmm. And I felt like in that clip, there were moments where I was like, okay, Tay. And then there were moments where I was like, girl. I think that I think that a couple things need to happen. One, I think people have to extend more grace.
Yeah.
And then I also think people have to be more realistic.
Yeah.
That singing and being a vocal, like your vocal, like it's a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it gets tired.
Yeah.
And sis is pushing 50.
Yeah.
So like if she have some off nights, like what do you want
happens.
her, like what do you want her to do? Now, my advice to her would be pull a Brandy, because Brandy is forever going to drop a key, because you're not going to give her, like you're not going to have her out here sounding crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to hit notes. If she don't got it that day,
yeah,
she going to drop that key and then kind of give you everything. And I feel like if she would have taken Love and War down, because that's what I meant when I said she had enough range. Like she did sound sick in that clip, but she had enough range and she had enough like still belt that if she had took that key down, she really could have performed that song and it would have been a great performance.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that she also has to be a bit more realistic too. Like if I don't got it today, how can I adjust it so that I can still give a good performance without overworking myself? Because that's essentially what she's doing, and pushing through, trying to hit notes that you don't have at that time can damage.
Yeah, do a lot more damage. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, my thing is, you know, Tamar is a soprano.
No, she really is.
Like she is like a soprano one, like full voice.
Yeah,
like she can really get up there and
stay
sustain.
up there. Yeah.
Like, and not many people can do that, because you know how much we love Calling All Lovers. Like literally a cover to cover. Like
really
literally, like
no
free falling,
skips.
like she was really up there in the actual rafters, like literally. So my thing is, we already can't sing with you. We already like we're either falsettoing or we're an octave lower. So if you would have took the key down like 2 whole steps, we could blast it with you. But when you're up in the rafters,
you're
all
alone,
the time,
girl. And then we can't even help you. Can't assist. Don't know what to tell you. So sorry.
You are killing me.